Have you ever noticed how some women don't flirt in a direct way, especially when they are around a man who is older, established, and grounded? They don't throw themselves at you. They don't bat their eyelashes like they did in their 20s. Instead, they check your awareness quietly. They test your presence without you even realizing it. And here is what most men completely misunderstand. A woman who feels drawn to an older man will almost always ask two very specific questions. It's like a message hidden in plain sight, a secret code that she is hoping you can crack. Before I reveal what those two questions are, do me a small favor. Tap the like button and comment below if you have ever missed a woman's signal and only understood it months or even years later. Your engagement helps this reach more men who need to hear it. Men over 50 often walk around feeling like they have become invisible to women, especially younger women, but even women their own age. They think the world has passed them by. They believe the spotlight has moved on to the younger, flashier guys. But the truth is completely different. Mature men are often more attractive than they have ever been in their entire lives, but only when they actually understand female behavior. The real problem isn't your age. The real problem is misunderstanding. It is moving through life thinking she's just being polite, thinking she's just making small talk, when in reality, she was inviting you in. Women rarely show interest openly. It is not in their nature to hand you a brochure that says, "I am attracted to you." Instead, they test your emotional calm. They test your presence. They test your ability to notice the small, subtle details that most men walk right past. Feminine psychology works in layers. When a woman begins to view you as someone she can trust, emotionally, physically, and intimately, her energy shifts. She stops treating you like a casual acquaintance and moves into a state of intentional curiosity. She begins asking questions that are carefully designed to reveal three things about you: your strength as a man, whether you are steady and secure, your emotional and practical availability, and your awareness, meaning whether you can recognize genuine interest when it is sitting right in front of you. This is exactly when the two key questions appear. But to understand why they matter so much, you need to see the psychological truth behind them. Many men over 50 expect clear, simple signs of attraction. Why? Because they were raised in a time when people spoke more directly. A man said, "I like you," and a woman said, "I like you too," and that was that. But women today, even mature women, express interest very differently. They do not say, "I am attracted to you, I want to get closer, I am thinking of you romantically." Instead, they explore, they probe, they ask carefully chosen questions to see whether you are a man they can move toward without feeling rejected. Because here is the quiet feminine fear, especially when it comes to older men. If she shows her interest too clearly, she worries you will think she is needy. She worries you will think she is desperate. She worries that by offering her heart on a plate, she will lose her value in your eyes. So she hides her attraction inside her curiosity. She places it inside questions that look completely harmless to a man who isn't paying attention. And if you do not notice them, she usually won't repeat the offer. Women rarely present the same emotional invitation twice. They put it out there once, and if you miss it, the window closes. Feminine psychology is layered. Women use questions the way men use actions. When a man is drawn to a woman, he offers help. He offers protection. He offers to fix the sink, change the tire, or solve the problem. When a woman is drawn to a man, she asks a question that hints at closeness. She builds a bridge and waits to see if you will walk across it. There are endless questions a woman might ask you in daily life, but only two appear consistently when she is gently exploring intimacy with a mature man. But first, recognize something important. She isn't asking these questions because she is trying to pry into your life. She isn't being nosy. She is asking because she wants to sense your emotional warmth. She wants to feel, is he calm? Is he steady? Is he open to my energy? Does he stand firmly in his masculine, or is he hiding behind politeness and routine? These questions are not about gathering information. They are about creating connection. They create a small bridge between her world and yours. She places the bridge carefully, hoping you will step onto it with presence and intention. And when you do, everything shifts, in her mind and in her body. Most men respond to these questions at face value. They give a literal answer, completely missing the subtext. But a wiser, more grounded man understands the deeper meaning behind her words. Because when she asks them, she isn't collecting data. She is checking alignment. She is checking your awareness. She is checking whether you are the kind of man who notices the life beneath the surface. When a woman is drawn to you, she doesn't need you to show off your money, your strength, or your war stories. She needs to feel that you are conscious, that you are present, that you are calm. These two questions matter because they are not random curiosity. They are invitations. Let's break them down.
The first question. Do you spend a lot of time alone? It sounds harmless, doesn't it? It sounds like casual small talk. But it is not. It is her way of asking one thing. Is there room? Is there room in your life for me? Are you open or are you closed off? Does your life have emotional space for a woman? Or are you so locked into your routines, your habits, and your solitude that I could never find a place to land? Women always test for space in a man's world. She might ask it in different forms. She might say, do you usually go out alone? Or do you keep to yourself a lot? Or are you seeing anyone or just doing your own thing lately? This question is never about loneliness. It is about access. A woman asks it only when she has already pictured herself in your space, somewhere near your life. She is trying to learn whether you are welcoming or emotionally unavailable. Think about it. If she did not feel anything for you, she would not care how you spend your time. But when she feels drawn to the stability and calm that many mature men carry, she wants to know if she can enter your world without forcing her presence. Most men reply too literally. They say, yes, I am alone a lot. I like my peace and quiet. Or they say, no, not really, I'm pretty busy. Both answers kill the momentum. One makes you sound isolated and locked in. The other brushes past the invitation entirely. But a steady man hears the meaning behind it. She is checking your openness. She is testing your availability. She is seeing whether closeness with you is truly possible. To answer in a way that builds attraction, you must stay balanced. Be calm, steady, and open, but never needy. You might say something like, I enjoy my space, but I'm always open to good company. Or, I like my routines, but I'm open to someone who adds something meaningful to my days. This does two things at once. It tells her you are emotionally open without being desperate, and it gently hints that she might be exactly the kind of company you would let into your life. This tone is exactly what women want. Open, but not empty. Receptive, but not needy. Strong, without being cold. When you respond this way, she feels warmth. She feels possibility. She feels emotional safety. And that naturally leads her to the second question, the one that reveals her deeper interest. The second question. What are you looking for these days? This question is never casual. It is not small talk. It is not simple curiosity. It is a woman exploring you as a romantic option. If she felt nothing for you, she would never risk asking something so direct. It feels too personal. It feels too exposed. It feels too intimate. Women save this question for men they see as potentially meaningful in their lives. And again, she may phrase it differently. She might ask, what do you want in your life right now? Or what direction are you moving in? Or what are you focusing on lately? Or even, what are you hoping to find at this stage of life? Women ask this second question to understand your inner direction. For a woman to open herself emotionally or physically to a man, especially a mature man, she needs to feel something vital. She needs to sense that he knows who he is, that he knows what he wants, that he is not wandering through life, that he is not stuck in old emotional stories, that he is not just killing time. She needs to know that he moves with intention. This question helps her see, is this man's life headed somewhere I could walk toward? Does he have emotional purpose? Is he the type of man I could trust with my vulnerability? Men who answer too literally don't realize they are breaking the moment. When a man says, I'm just looking for peace, or I'm taking each day as it comes, or I'm not really sure right now, she hears something entirely different. She hears drifting. And women do not invest themselves in men who drift, no matter how old they are, no matter how much money they have, no matter how kind they are. A drifting man makes a woman feel unsafe. If you want to answer with masculine clarity, you do not need a long explanation. You do not need to reveal your entire life plan. You only need direction. You can say something like, I'm building a simpler, stronger chapter with the right people. Or, I'm looking for a connection that feels natural, not forced. Or, I'm focusing on living with intention, good experiences, meaningful moments, and real connection. These kinds of responses do three things for her. First, they show you are moving, not stuck.
Second, they show emotional clarity, that you know what you want. Third,
These two questions are deeply connected to female desire. Women do not test men randomly. They test based on emotional readiness. When she asks, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" she is measuring your openness. When she asks, "What are you looking for these days?" she is measuring your direction. And the logic is simple. A man who is open and moving with purpose creates emotional pull. He becomes someone worth leaning into. Women do not need perfection. They need clarity. Clarity gives safety, and safety awakens desire. This is why these two questions appear again and again, even if the woman herself does not consciously understand why she is asking them. Picture this in a real-life moment. You are talking with a woman, maybe in a cafe, maybe at a friend's gathering, maybe even online. The conversation feels smooth. There is an ease to it, a soft tension. She laughs a little more than necessary. She touches her hair. She holds your gaze a beat longer than usual. Then, suddenly she asks, "So, do you spend a lot of time alone?" That is her first emotional step towards you. That is her opening the door slightly. If you respond with presence and warmth, she feels encouraged. She feels seen. If you answer with confusion, or if you shut it down with a flat, literal response, the energy drops instantly. The door begins to close. Later, maybe minutes later, maybe days later, she asks the second question. What are you looking for at this stage of your life? This is her second step. This is her deciding if she should go deeper. If you answer with clarity and intention, she feels possibility. She feels a spark. If you answer with uncertainty, she retreats. She pulls back, and she probably won't come back this way again. Men think these moments are random. They think they are just making conversation. But they are not random. They are emotional checkpoints. And women almost never ask these two questions to a man they do not feel something for. Here is what you must never forget. A woman who wants intimacy with an older man will not say it openly. She will not confess it. She will not push herself on you. She will ask two questions. Are you open emotionally? Do you spend a lot of time alone? Are you emotionally alive? What are you looking for these days? These questions are not about your plans. They are about your energy. They are about your presence. They are about whether you are a man who is awake to the subtle dance of attraction or a man who has gone to sleep inside his own comfort zone. When you notice them, you enter the moment with power. When you fail to notice them, the moment disappears, and you are left wondering why nothing ever happens. Women rarely offer the same emotional invitation twice. When they open a door, it is only once. If you walk through it with calm, grounded presence, everything changes. If you walk past it, she simply locks it and moves on. If you remember just one thing from this, let it be this. A woman does not test your words. She tests your presence. She tests your awareness. If you can recognize the questions she uses to signal desire, you will never again wonder whether a woman is interested in you. You will know. Before you go, help this channel grow. Comment the phrase, "I see the signs," below to show you understood the message and are ready to use it. Your engagement helps this message reach more men who need it. Stay grounded, stay aware, and I will see you in the next one.